Hey, what's up all you basement dwellers? Tickle My Shoes here, aka Fluffalole, also known as the Hecate King when I play games such as EVE Online. Today in our Alpha Adventure series, we're going over what I call the Triple Thready, which is the Talwar from the Minmatar Republic. This thing is quite powerful in the hands of an Alpha player, even in the skilled hands of an Omega player. But when it comes to an Alpha player and this ship, as you can see, I set it up with dual reps which are active, and then we have the structured tank. Now when it comes to destroyers in the alpha hands, you can either tank them or you can DPS them, but usually as a solo destroyer you want to be able to break the tank reps of a 1v1 fight, so usually you want to go for high DPS, but you can switch it to tank if you're with friends. Also remembering guys that with this character right here that I am a fully, when it comes to small vessels and medium vessels, alpha character. I'm technically fully skilled when it comes to the combat mode. So in this ship right here, when you're using your Tech 2 ammunition right here, you will get a smooth 250 DPS usually when you overheat it. Now remembering a good trick you guys to always understand that in the Talwar, when it comes to the DPS, it always does more when you do the Nova Rage. So if I put it right there, you can see that it's 269, and if I go right here and I put back to the Inferno, you can see that it's 224. So how I get the smooth 250 DPS is what you do is you just rage out 4 of these like this, and you leave 2 of the other ones as the thermal. What that does is that allows us to have omni damage, and now we have a clean 250 DPS, which will break most tanks when it comes to 1v1 fights, and give you some really good 1v1 fights when it comes to buffer fights and stuff like that. But also remembering you guys that when it comes to your tank in this ship and the medium ancillary shield booster, consider this as an alpha player to be your version of a ghetto ADC, so you'd only want to use this in dire moments. Don't really let them know that you have it. Save it if you're under heavy nuke pressure for your weapon systems, and this do not rely on cap. Always try to get off your small charges when it comes to your small ancillary repper. Always remembering you guys that we are structure tank based here when it comes to this destroyer build. So when it comes to being an alpha player, yes, destroyers will range in the 30 to 40 million dollar mark. You can make some cheaper, but as you do lose some of the buff effects that another player may have as an Omega player, you are forced to T2 some of your defenses. As you can see, this would be called the DPS version of this build, and I can show you guys right here what would be considered a tank build with your friends. So you can see that if you are with a small group of people, maybe 1 or 2, you can still have the same concept of the build, but what you're doing here is you're actually giving yourself a type D restrained reinforced bulkhead, which will give you about 420 more HP, and then you drop 1 weapon system so that you can support your ally with some EWAR pressure, allowing some newt pressure. But always remember the same tactics. Try to get off as much ancillary charges as you can, and then always keep this newt overheated when you're in combat. A good section to do is to break your guns into 3 on this one and break this gun into 3. That way you have 2 sets like this. Overheat your newt until it's half damaged, turn it off, just leave it running regular, and then burn your guns till the newt will die. So that's a good little tactic, but it's still usually the same tactic as the other one, just this is more tanky. You can solo with it. If you solo with it like this, it is good to hunt frigates that rely on cap pressure, either for repping or say hybrid small weapon systems, lasers, things like that. It's not good to face against heavy buffer ships, as you do lose some of the DPS. If they are ancillary rep, they may mathematically outdo you, but as we all do know, in a PvP fight, it does come down to pilot error and pilot skill, so any battle is capable of winning and any pilot can win. Alright, well I do hope that you guys enjoyed the video and do get out there and try your alpha PvP combat. Do remember that these builds are quite powerful in Omega player hands as well, and I do hope to see you guys in my next videos. Also remember, don't be afraid to get out there and try some PvP as an alpha player. If you are a newer player and catching this video, yes, you can play this game as an alpha, just the only difference is you are restricted to some of the ships, meaning that when you're an alpha player doing PvP combat, you either want to get a good 1v1 with the same class of ship as you. You never want to try to fight an up-class ship unless you know that you can win. It's good for destroyers to hunt frigates when that is actually what they're designed to do, is destroy frigates, hence destroyer. And it's good to always, when you're in your frigates, to just, or your cruisers, to make sure that when it's frigate, don't fight any faction or Tech 2 frigates. When you're destroyer, don't fight any Tech 2, Tech 3 destroyers. Don't try to fight any assault frigates. Usually the ADC can whittle you down in certain points like that, so it's actually not viable to do it as an alpha player. But basically, when you're doing it like this, you can have a lot of fun, and I hope it shows that you guys should not be afraid to get out there and try some PvP as an alpha player if you do have the ISK, because as a newer player or alpha, sometimes it is hard to obtain a little bit of ISK or to understand how to do it, because most people that are ISK efficient or really good at obtaining the ISK, like myself, have figured it out over long periods of time. Hope you guys do find this video informational, and please do hit the like button, as it does help me out a lot. And if you feel the need to, please smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. With that said, let's get right into this one.